Okay, I practiced this outside, but we're going to see if I can do it, because I always get emotional and just really mess up. So hi, and welcome everybody to the 35th Annual UFO Conference. And we're glad everybody could make it, plus our live streaming people coming in. Glad you're here, and we're going to get Forrest up here, and he's going to get the conference going. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. A fantastic turnout. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you so much for coming back yet again for this wonderful, wonderful conference. All right, well, we are in a very, very interesting time when it comes to UFO research right now. I talked about this a little bit last year when I introduced, but it is continuing to intensify. With the events of a few years ago, whenever members of our armed forces and members of our government literally released information to press agencies and came on television and said, we're seeing things, we don't know what they are, they might not be of this planet, and they're real, the lid has been pulled off of Pandora's box. And it is now, basically our government put the stamp of approval on UFOs are real. So now it's okay to talk about it and believe in it. And I can't even tell you how different the public is reacting to this subject now, okay? It is very, very exciting times. This continues to escalate. If you watch any and all of the crazy shows on cable about UFOs, you'll see now the shows, a year or two ago we had Lou Elizondo coming on and talking about his experiences, and then that became a series. And now they're bringing airline pilots onto those shows, and the airline pilots are openly talking about it, and that's never happened before either. If you know any airline pilots, you'll know they've never really, they were either smart enough to not say anything because they would get chastised or in trouble, or they were literally told not to say anything. Well, now they're coming on TV in droves and talking about the stuff that they've been seeing. So times have changed, and this is a very good thing. So we are at the beginning of what I believe is the indoctrination of mankind to who, what, and what we really are, where we really came from, the true history of this planet, and also we're going to need to learn more about how the universe really works. And when I say that, I don't just mean machines flying here from other planets, because everybody in this room, I think, if you don't, by the end of this weekend, you'll know that that is not really a plausible explanation for what's going on. There's way more going on, things that stretch our knowledge of physics and of the universe. And so we've got to get smarter about what's really going on in the universe in general. And this is a perfect lead-in for our first speaker. I am so excited for this person to be here. I don't really have like celebrity worship, I don't get giddy when I see an actor or whatever, but I'm telling you what, I am giddy that this woman is here with us today, because I think that she is one of the best at what she does in the world, and I have been following remote viewing since the very, very beginning, and from a scientific perspective, it is lock-tight research, okay? It is just really, really well done in a way that you really can't question the results. And that makes it very, very exciting. And therefore, I think it is probably one of the most powerful tools that we have as investigators these days. And the information coming out of the remote viewers is nothing short of extraordinary. So, without further ado, Yeme Jeaneé.
Hi. How you doing? Thank you so much. He's amazing. Give him another hand clap. So amazing. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. I'm so grateful to see every single one of you. Thank you, Ozark, for having me today. My name is Yeme Jeaneé. A lot of you probably know me as Princess Jeaneé. I did my best to change my name across the board, but that's not easy. So you can call me the remote viewer, formerly known as Princess. I work with Farsight Institute. This year, we're going to be talking about extraterrestrials, telepathy. We're going to be talking about so many different things here today that really, really excite me. Who am I? Again, the viewer formerly known as Princess. I am a mom of a 6-year-old boy. There's my little baby right there. He likes to dress himself, and I think he's really cool. He is 6.5. I am an entertainer. I model, sing, act, and dance. And sometimes I try to do backflips, and they're really bad, and I'm not good at it. My son's great at it, though. I am lead instructor at the Farsight Institute. Every remote viewer that has come through the Farsight Institute that you guys have or may not have seen, I have taught. I was taught directly by Director Courtney Brown, one-on-one for about a year before I got to where I am today. So it's really amazing to see all this work out there. Those are the Farsight girls. They are super cool. You have Kamaya, and we've got me, and we have Intisam, and I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. But also, I am a telepathic. Didn't know that until recently. Had no idea that's what I had been doing my whole life. Also known as mind reader of aliens. My telepathic communication with reptilians, my boss said, hey, you are blind. I used to be completely blind. I couldn't see, I was legally blind. So I couldn't see without fumbling around for glasses, probably thicker than this desk. They were so heavy, they would fall off my face if I bent over. But he said that he thinks that that's what made all my other senses so vibrant, so big. And he realized in my sessions that I could really dig into hey, who did that? I hope my phone's silenced. I don't remember. Don't yell at me, Forrest, if it's not. It's not in here, though. It's like way out there. Hello, Moto. I am not a comedian, but sometimes I'm very funny. So please laugh. I won't get offended. Anywho, he said that it really amplified my ability to communicate. I'm very sensitive energetically. I can literally feel almost every single one of you. From your aura, I see all the colors. I can feel all the energy. I can feel some people's heart rates. So my heart's beating really fast, and I'm like, that's a lot, so relax. But I've always been that way since I was a child. Did not know that had a part in telepathy or mind reading. I don't like to call it that, but it's really energy reading. I've been doing that for a while, communicating knowingly with ETs, mostly reptilians. They're kind of mean sometimes. Mostly reptilians, but also all sorts of ETs. Knowingly for 5 years. Again, had no idea I was talking to these creatures for a while. My moms would call them imaginary friends. I think some of you might have had imaginary friends. Maybe they were aliens. Reptilians are highly secretive beings. Most ETs are highly secretive beings, but the reptilians mostly, they get a little sketchy. They can't, when they see me coming, you can kind of feel the eye rolls of, oh my God, she's here. What is she about to do now, right? Because I'm annoying and I'm very pestery, which you'll learn about that later with me when it comes to these ETs. They cannot stand when we barge into their shenanigans. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing, and I'm sitting here what are you doing? I want to know hey, what's your name? This is Sherry. She's not an ET, but that's what I do to them. And that's exactly what I do to them. I'm just what's your name? What are you doing here? Do you know me? And they're like, yes, I know you. And they're so annoyed by me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm going to ask that next time I talk to one. Why do you get annoyed when I come around? But probably because I'm getting all up in their stuff. And then I tell you guys all their business. Which leads to Dr. Brown realized that I was not intimidated by them at all. Most people, they're going to be most of our viewers will kind of touch it and be like, well, I see a reptilian and they look like this. Okay, next. I go, I see a reptilian. What are they doing? What do their face looks like? Why do they have, like, I'm so inquisitive. I'm not afraid of them. Turns out they're afraid of me. Very intimidated by me. They realized that I would stop at nothing to get the information I desire from them. A viewer can only get so much information at a time, which you guys are going to learn a little bit about remote viewing today. We can only get a little bit of information at a time. It's very, very low-level data. So when the going gets thick with a lot of the extraterrestrials that don't want us to know their information, they send me in. I call myself the interrogator. Deep mind probes. We encounter, at Farsight specifically, because we're searching for things, you know, if you don't want to find it, don't look for it, right? Well, we look for it, so we find everything. I don't always know what it is I'm finding, but I come across a lot of hostile entities that will try to block or hide information or just not answer, like they'll just be very stubborn. And so a lot of the projects, when it gets that deep, they will structure it towards me specifically, going in as the interrogator where I probe. And I don't mind saying, hey, you're going to give me this information because you know what? If you don't, I'm going to drill into your mind and I'm going to find out things you don't want me to know at all. So you might as well just tell me what I want to know. And they're like, okay, here's all my information. And they spill it out like candy on out of a piñata. It's like, here's all the information you need because I don't want you finding out the stuff I don't want you to find out. But like I said, I demand the information. I never know who I'm talking to. Like I don't know any of you guys. I met some of you. Hi, friends that I've met thus far. We are all family now. I always say if I'm able to be in front of you, we are now family. So hi, sisters and brothers. I believe that everything happens for a divine purpose. I don't play. I, again, will not stand for them hiding information. I have encountered a situation, and I'm trying to remember the project. Again, with remote viewing, it is done blind. So I never know where I'm going, and I will get the verifiable data. And then I go, here you go. And they're like, you found the things that everyone else knows, now dig a little deeper. That's how that works. So I never know where I'm going. And there was this one time, I kind of did my session last with all the other 4 girls that were there. And they realized they keep getting in. Let me thicken up on the security here. Let me build this wall. That's what it felt like. I don't see visually. I know we have a lot of experiences in here that have probably seen like tangible creatures. My seeing is more like I said, energetic, like I can see with all of you guys. And they built up their security, and when they saw me, their eyes got big. They were like, oh no, the interrogator's here. And so they're trying to be all big and bad bodyguards, don't let her into this information. And it felt like what I imagine a lead wall keeping Superman out. But I wasn't taking no for an answer. My body ached so bad after this, but I was almost banging into the wall, like using all of my energy. And they had these other reptilian, I call them minions, because they do their dirty work, right? The higher ups are always hidden. It's the little people that they put out in the front, which is usually how bad guys work. But they were just like, no, to the point where they started begging me because, like, please don't go in there. Don't go in there. You don't want to see what's going to happen. It's going to ruin everything. It's going to change the makeup of X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, let me in. And I felt like I was banging into, like, this wall, like this kryptonite wall of information. And I got in because I'm the interrogator. And I don't play. I don't play, and I forced it out of them, and it was tiring and very exhausting. But they seem to get nervous when I come around because of that. And since then, I've always had these fainting spells. My doctor thought it was because I'm asthmatic, and oxygen wasn't getting to my brain. But anytime they did the scans, they couldn't find anything. So I'm like, clearly it's something else. It's not something medical. And so I started to recognize that when I get close to information, they try to knock me out. This morning, they made me pour mouthwash in my eye. It still hurts. But I can see now. I couldn't see earlier. And my eyes are bloodshot red, but they will do little things here. So like people who are close to these entities, whether they're good or bad, even the good ones, they don't want to be found out. They're like little ghost children that run around and make little things happen, like if you trip and there's nothing there, or you fall asleep randomly when you were wide awake. That happens to me. I'll be getting all my information, and I'm here, and I'm writing, and I'm talking to you, and then it's like, did she just die? No, I fell asleep, and I don't know when or how. But that happens to me. They'll cloud my mind. It'll be so cloudy that you feel faint. And imagine like a brain fog. Some pregnant women will experience pregnancy brain. If anybody has heard or felt that, that's kind of what it feels like. And it's like someone just poured fog into my brain, and it's like, ha, try to find me now. I go through that. How did I get here? Remote viewing. What is remote viewing? My practice specifically is scientific remote viewing, also known as SRV. There are plenty different things. I don't know if you all know about them, like other procedures, ARV, CRV. My company does not use that. We use scientific remote viewing, also known as an advanced SRV, to collect data during a process of like collection. We use a template. All of the researchers use this at Farsight. Scientific remote viewing is a trainable mental procedure that enables a person to extract accurate and detailed information from distant locations across space and times. We are all spiritual beings. Because of that, we're capable of perceiving beyond all boundaries of time and space. And our consciousness is ever present with all that is, ever was, and will ever be. I can teach you how to do that. That's what I do for a living. I teach people how to cross these boundaries and how to break these barriers. No, I do not send you to the mean ET guys, but you might encounter someone because everyone exists. Simply, SRV is a controlled shifting of awareness that is performed in a normal waking state of consciousness. I get a lot of emails saying, I do Ayurvedic medicines and I take all these really cool earthy substances that bring me into this deep meditative state. I can remote view. Well, yes, you can, but not because of that. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to exist as your own self and be willing and be able to let go. Letting go is the hard part. SRV uses the human nervous system as a tuning device that connects us to an underlying field of nature through which knowledge of this is possible. Again, because we're spiritual beings, we're capable. I don't like being behind a podium. This isn't working for me. I'm a mover, I've got to move. But we are capable of knowing all things. You have that. Every single one of you are capable of perceiving beyond this room, perceiving beyond your own personal memories, perceiving beyond what someone has told you or your dreams. We're so powerful in that state. And we're going to do a little test about that a little later on. What it is not. It does not involve an outer body experience. This is not, what do they call it? Astral projection. This, again, is a tangible piece of paper that you'll see, that you can write on, that you can use to guide you through different places. It is not hypnosis. We're not sitting here forcing you to see something. It does not involve, again, an altered state of consciousness. You don't need the ancient herbs of the land. You don't need any of these things. I had someone hit me up about shrooms recently, and I'm like, no, you don't. That's not what I do. Let's talk about this. What I do is I meditate, and I find a calmed state of mind. It is not channeling. Now, I know a lot of you, if you've seen any of my live work, you've seen me communicating as as the extraterrestrial or speaking for them. I'm not channeling them. It's not like Bashar or Abraham Hicks. It's not me channeling a being. I am communicating with them like they're in front of me, but because you can't see or hear them, I'm speaking for them. So it's kind of more like a call and response. I'm not being possessed by anyone. SRV and the soul. The ability to train someone to remote view, it argues strongly for the existence of the non-physical aspects for all humans. The soul, the spirit, our isbe, what we are before we became this physical body. This discovery has been very important in the developmental process of what the remote viewing program actually is. I am super excited about this because when I came into remote viewing, I had no idea it existed. I had no idea what it was. I looked at this man like, clearly you're crazy, right? We're not crazy. I've learned that. Actually, maybe we are a little bit crazy, but that's healthy. Over 10 years of research, this book right here, Remote Viewing, The Science and Theory of Non-Physical Perception by Dr. Courtney Brown, who is my instructor, the owner and CEO of Farsight Institute, who taught me 101 from wherever he learned all this cool stuff. It talks about the cross-cutting, side channels, nature of time, associative remote viewing, which is also known as ARV, which is kind of like I have a cup and I have a movie theater. If it is a cup, the Cubs are gonna win, type of thing. Most people use ARV for gambling or to just do little light practices of it. Somebody recently added me to a random Facebook group and I have no clue who it is. And they talk about ARV all the time. And I'm like, I don't do this, I do SRV. What is this? Public demonstration of RV, Cosmology and Quantum Mechanics, Insights into Spirituality. This book has it. You can find it anywhere online. You can also find it at farsight.org. The preliminaries of this formal remote viewing experiences are normally preceded with a calm, cool-down process. So again, I meditate. My preference is about 3 hours a day before I go into anything. Yes. She said, oh my God. As she's yawning, they're trying to keep her from hearing this information. It's okay, I was yawning too. But I meditate for about 3 hours a day. If I can't do 3 hours, I need a good hour and a half. When I'm teaching, I say, do 45 minutes to an hour. People get overwhelmed with the thought of sitting still for over 10 minutes. And I'm seeing everyone go, yeah. How do you do that? No, it's the best feeling in the world. It's the quietest my existence has ever been, as I do have a 6-year-old boy who didn't used to be 6. And I have pets. But this meditation process is designed to be able to be done in the loudest and craziest of environments and in the calmest of environments. And it rids you of tiredness. And I can hear and feel the beings in my home just from a simple room once I've really calmed my mind. Some people use meditation for this, which again, like I said, is fine, but it has to be like a sense of a word, meaning different things to people. So the Farsight meditation is Fikara Uwazi, which is meaning to see far, to calm down and to see far. It's Swahili. Dr. Courtney Brown is a dual citizen in Kenya. He speaks fluent Swahili, and he does his best to teach us. I think it is amazing. But Fikara Uwazi, which means to calm the mind. And we use the process of shanim mana, ding dong. And it's all the cool ringtones too, like they're catchy, and I'm like, do y'all hear that? But Shani Mana, which was created to sound like the things around you. So if you can hear like the humming of the room, right? It mimics the sounds of the cars. It mimics the sounds of our breathing. Just, white noise that we're creating within ourselves to move the, let me come over here, hi. White noise that we're creating within ourselves to move that energy. And a lot of people think, oh, I fell asleep. No, you didn't fall asleep, your mind is calm. And you're just not used to that because the world is always going and going. With that, we go into an ideogram. We go through our A process, terms, no labels. Our first guess, so our B, you'll see a piece of paper soon where you'll see, it's got all these different letters in different places of what we do. And so we find our first guess, what I like to call my mini conclusion. Science, everything's a theory, so we don't really know, right? We practice. Science is always a practice. It's something you learn about every day, of matter, of energy, of movement. And so that's kind of what that first guess is. It's our, what is it called, a thesis? More description, no identification. We describe, we do not define. And so I can't say this is a woman, this is a floor. What I can say is I see a subject, a being of some sort, and it has a feminine energy, right? This being has long hair. Sometimes we do end up feeling around and we realize, okay, there are body parts there. Okay, this is a female subject or a male subject. I have a base surface. It might not be a floor. I might be outside in the desert. I can't call it a floor. So we're describing it. We're not defining it. And then I draw a sketch, a flash sketch, an activity. We do this 3 times, back to back to back. Low and high level data. SRV uses only low level data. Like I just said, high level data are considered mind conclusions and must be removed. Deductions remove conscious mind conclusions and they deduce subtraction. This is an example of low and high level examples. Explosive energy. Somebody might call that a bomb blast. We don't want to call that a bomb blast because it might not be a bomb, right? But we do have this explosive energy. It could be fireworks. Sand, water, salty, taste, waves, perfume. Somebody might go, I feel like I'm at the beach. Okay, well, you might be at the Ozark conference and it just smells really nice here. Right? Squirmy, primitive, scaly animal life. Oh, they're dinosaurs. Or maybe it's a chameleon. Don't be so dramatic, right? So that's why we try to rid ourselves of the high-level data. As you get on and on in this, like me, I'm able to tell, okay, this is a reptilian, this is an alien, or this is a human. What type now? I'm able to do that because I've been doing it so long, but we try not to define as best as possible. Again, like tall structures with many floors. Oh, it's a skyscraper, or it's just a little hotel. Who knows? Sloping dry land. This is an example, again, of low-level data with energetics or intense heat at the top. Well, that would be like a mountain or a volcano, glaciers. Again, many rooms side by side, multi-floored structure. We don't want to name it. These are just brief examples, gathering of important subjects. I'm going to say this is the UN Security Council. No, that's dramatic. It might just be the conference. Let's not be so dramatic, guys. This is a nice example of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. This is not my drawing. I believe Aziz Brown, Courtney Brown's son, did this one. But this is something that somebody might draw if they were going to that location. Is there a back button? Yes, I figured out the tool. I have no competency of technology, so bear with me. But if this is the target, and then this is what I draw, well, I'm there. I don't have to be Picasso. Nobody can beat my stick figures. I draw amazing stick people. I'm the stick person, Picasso of the land. But Aziz is really good at buildings. And this would be that. The War in Heaven, this is one of our projects. Someone is watching, but who? That's what I go and I find out. It's abandoned, it's broken, it's damaged. It sort of reminds me of the last Divergent film. I think it was Allegiant. With the red sky going on here and the sand and the death, it just looks like no one is supposed to live here. Everything looks dead, melted almost, melted together. It looks like what I imagine a laser war zone would be. This is all, again, near a whole lot of water. I'm focusing on what's falling from the sky. It's hot. Not like hot, but it hurts to the touch. It hurts to be touched by, it's like bloody rain. Very hot, red rain, lava from the sky. It's like someone turned a volcano upside down and it's raining lava. It's acid, it burns, it hurts, it's hot, it just burns everything, and there's a falling lava rocks are with this. It's like lava rocks and acid rain, and it just burns and it hurts. I'm gonna move up 100 miles from where I am. From up here, this is so cute. From up here, it looks like the universe threw a giant party and there's glitter everywhere. There's stuff here that makes me feel like a space city. There are lights everywhere and you just see these swirls of colors, dust, stars, gas, I don't know, but it's like I took a bunch of glitter and I went to space and I just threw it and it's just there. And that's what it looks like. And then you got lights and you got like possible fire. It's just this concoction of disturbing beauty. It's very pretty, but something bad happened. But it's beautiful. It's like galaxies, or what I imagine it to look like if I were there. So every remote viewing process is done completely blind. When I'm doing this, and depending on how many passes I may or may not take, depending on the target that we're doing, I might do one just to get the verifiable data, and then I'll send it in, and then Dr. Brown will go, all right, cool, you found this here, go explore that, right? Okay, I have no clue where I'm going. I'm just told you got a project, it's called Mysteries 1,000 million hundred, I just made a number up, but like, you know, it's called Mysteries 34, okay, that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I don't know a name. I don't know, oh, you're going to find a person there. None of that. I find what I have, and then go, here, this is what I have, and if I'm wrong, it's your fault. You taught me. It takes the blame off of me. It makes me be able to what? Let go, which is the biggest portion in time, because if I can't let go, I can't get there. If we're holding on to something, we're going to stay here. But if we let go, we can allow our consciousness to move and be free. The hardest thing is not knowing. Where am I going? You can't say, come on, let's go, and you follow somebody blindly, right? No one does that. We don't do that as humans. We go, where are we going? What time will we have to be there? What should I wear? I don't like this person. Are they going to be there? Or my best friend, will they be there because I missed them? Right? We ask all these questions. You can't do that with remote viewing. We have to go, come on, let's go. Okay. What did I find? Well, I found that. Don't know what it is. It was very pretty. Oh my God, something bad happened, right? Explore it. Go look for it. Go and find it and dig deep into it. I'm completely blind. I don't know where I've been until the video's completely over. And then he goes, you want to know where you went? Yeah. You went to the war in heaven. What? No. How'd I do that? And so, actually, when I found out where I went, There's a trailer. I do not have that up here, but if you go to farsight.org and just look for the War in Heaven trailer, you're going to see me hold a piece of paper up to my face. I was crying, like bawling, because I come, which is very unique that I am now here in life, but I come from a very strong, strict Southern Baptist Christian family, African Methodist, like it was my life, right? And so I'm over here like, you just tell me I went to heaven in this space. It's not those pearly white gates. You're a horrible I was upset. I was yelling. It didn't break my heart, but it opened my eyes. Like, okay, so it is beautiful, right? But it's our galaxy. Heaven, what is heaven to you, right? You know, it's what heaven is to one person. It may have looked different, which someone else went there and they saw more red and more of the falling lava rocks. They didn't see the glitter party I saw, right? So depends on where you go, right? Maybe there are some gates up there and I haven't found it yet. Maybe that's what the barrier is that's keeping us here. Who knows? Not here knocking any spirituality, but that was my experience unknowingly. And because you would have seen, when you go and look at this video, you will see me crying because it was overwhelming and interwhelming to me. Like it broadened my horizon of who I was as a person. And this was the day that my eyes really opened. I had been doing this, it had been 5 or so years by now, you know, by this time. And that was the day where I said, there's so much out there that I haven't seen, that I want to see. All right, can you send me somewhere else in the Bible? That was my next question. That was my next question. And he did, and he sent me to Noah's Ark, and I was like, okay, no more Bible stuff. This is getting on my nerves. You mean it was a rock? It was a rock that parted the Red Sea? It wasn't Jesus? Like, it was a lot. I went through it when he kept sending me to all these biblical places. But again, it allowed me to know that there's nothing that can be hidden from me. There's nothing that can be hidden from you if you can remote view. My dreams get brighter. My dreams get better. I can tell, like, I also do realm hop. I don't want to do that all the time, but it'll catch me, and I'm like, I had this conversation with you, and this is what you said. And then they're like, no, I haven't talked to you about any of this. No, this is what you said. Well, that sounds like something I would say, but I did not say that. How did I do this? Well, you know, I'm able to perceive beyond all boundaries of time and space, and time is not linear. So we've had this conversation, but we haven't had this conversation. So can we have this conversation? And because there is no one future, there's no telling where it's going to go. But that is my experience with this. This was my favorite project, the annihilation of the dinosaurs. Not because I wanted to see dinosaurs get annihilated. That part was really horrible, because it sucks. I was just at breakfast telling the group of people I was with, like, humans are mean. Why would we just go and just like what's happening? Like, why are beings so mean? We're just gonna go and blow up a planet? You can't live here no more. I want it. That's what happened. This was when I did really bad at scanning. Also, my handwriting is pure crap. It's like that in real life, but also it's not that bad. When remote viewing, you're too busy trying to get all the information out. You have, like, this is your mind, and this is like your window of opportunity, and then this is your higher self, and it's saying, hey, I've got all this information right here. And then we throw in these target coordinates that have nothing to do with the target. They're random, and they're just 4 numbers, and it goes, open, and it's like, information, and then it closes, right? So sometimes you don't get it, and when that's happening, you gotta just write. You can't worry about how pretty your handwriting is. If you spelled something right or wrong, I spell at least 85% of my words wrong, and then I'm like, what is this supposed to say? So bear with me as we go through this session. This is one of my sessions that I did. And again, like I said, one of my favorite ones. This says to move to the surface and describe. This is all I'm told to do. Move to the surface and describe. Okay. I write it down. I probe the little dot that looks like an explosion there. And I found out that there's land. It's very rigid. That's kind of what I think it says over there. There are things that look like volcanoes, possible mountains. My volcano's a deduction. I can't call it that, right? Because that's a high-level data, which is why you see it up there in the corner, D dash, deduct volcano, but I do have mountain with a lot of orangey stuff going on. The atmosphere is very unique here. It's different. It's not made for humans, but also can be habitable by humans. Where did I go? We were on the planet, Earth in a sense, on a planet where dinosaurs and reptilians lived. Moved to the nearest dense foliage. Like, I have all these different types of trees. I did my best to draw them. Again, I am no Picasso, except when it comes to my stick people. I'm getting really good at trees, though, can't you tell? But you don't have people go, I can't draw, I can't do this. Neither can I. Here you go. My foliage, this is all I saw. It was so beautiful and green. And this is before I started using colors in my sessions. But the land was just so vibrant and beautiful. And it had so many different animals, beings, we shall call them. Because it's just different types of foliage, mountains, large trees, water, land, and their highs, lows, rigid land. Like, this is what I felt and what I was able to feel and see there. Again, during this time, I couldn't really see in my life. I've recently had eye surgery. Turns out I had cataracts. And so they took that out, and now I can open my eyes and see for the first time in my life without needing glasses. I'm grateful. But during this time, I did not see well, so I couldn't draw well. And I could just feel, so I would say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I'm trying to describe it to you. So I wrote a lot. I saw a lot of birds. There was a lot of wind, a lot of insects, what I thought were frogs. They may or may not have been frogs, but that is kind of reptilian-like, right? I felt a large animal there, so and I wanted to move to this dominant life form. And so I went to the center of the target. This is what we call a movement exercise. It says from the center of the target, the largest animal life will show, and it'll be perceived. And I saw this, what I will call, I nickname everything. I am the least professional person when it comes to things like this or anything. Like, I give everything a name. I call people the boss guy, or this guy's getting on my nerves, so I'm gonna call him Mr. Annoying. Like, I do that in my sessions. In this case, I saw a hawk, dragon, bird thing. That's what it was called. And it was like this very loud, like, bad sound effects, but I like trying. Sound, I also saw a rhino-dino alien. That's my interpretation of what I saw. And I could hear this heavy species, like making the ground shake and loud footing. And then I was like, dinosaurs? That doesn't make sense. It was the annihilation of a dinosaur. That should have been a deduction, but I was too confused. As you can see, I have exclamation points and question marks. I thought I saw an elephant, but I was uncertain. Again, probably a dinosaur or something. These are totally alien dinosaurs. This was my conclusion, right? My first guess, as we would say. I moved to the most advanced life form, and whatever this, it was the most beautiful creature I'd ever seen. And she felt so familiar. And I said, whatever this is in the moment. Like, I can talk about it in memory, but then also I wanted to give you my in the moment experience before I knew where I was, when I was just completely blind to all of these things. It was not human, but it walked upright, and it was like the ETs came in contact, with this far. She had, I couldn't tell. I said, if this is an ET, she's like this purplish, bluish, brown complexion, smooth but also scaly. So like, I'm like a child. I have no sense of space, and so I will like walk up and just start touching. touching things. And I do this in real life too. I'm like, ooh, pardon me, I should ask, may I touch your shirt? It looks really soft. Like, I'm bad at that. So please don't yell at me if you have on something textured and I ask politely to feel it. But that's what I do. I live my life through touch. Or whatnot, like I am very much like a child, and so I was able to feel this being's skin, and going down, it was so smooth, like a snake, you know? Like how it's very smooth. I don't know if you've ever touched a snake, but when you filled it up, it was prickly and scaly, like up the skin. Almost everything in this environment had scales. Even if bad handwriting, yes, even if it had other skin components. This session was done probably 2 or 3 years ago. So, but it was my favorite experience with the reptilians. This is before they started getting angry. That this is the reason they got angry. They remind me of Avatar. In this case, they have this connection to the planet, to the life of the planet. The planet power fueled them. They were herbalists, these creatures here. They used the land for healing, for living, and for communication. You see DMP, that is a deep mind probe. And so that's when I go in. So I went into, with permission, I always ask permission. I never just go, rawr. No, the bad guys, I'm like, all right, I'm asking, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So please let me, please. I said, please. But I did ask permission, and she allowed, this was a feminine being, and she allowed me to go into her mind and to see through her eyes. And like humans would say that they were barbaric because they're different, their way of living was different, but they're not. They were so regal and beautiful and large, like large, Amazonian, human-like, but their body was more, like the way their joints broke down allowed their bodies to almost contort. Like dinosaurs. Dinosaur people allowed their bodies to almost contort. They made these very native sounds like animals. It reminded me of Mowgli. How he was human person but raised by the land, so he spoke of the land versus like we speak. But in the movie, of course, they transmuted it differently, but he spoke like the animals. He spoke to the animals, with the animals, and that's how this was here. We could learn so much from these creatures. I felt amazing. Culturally, might actually become better people from the knowledge of the beings in this land. It looks like I wrote, where am I? These things only exist on TV. Like I didn't know where I was. And it was so amazing, and I could feel, it felt like they can detect me. I could feel them detecting me being there. I sensed fear when I started to find them. I think they thought I might hurt them. I obviously don't look like them. They definitely knew I was there, and the creature, the being, I cannot call her a creature. This being walked up to me, and she just stood and stared at me, and we looked at each other, like we stared into each other's eyes, and she was a little bit taller than me, and it was so mesmerizing. And I'm reading it, but I'm remembering it, and I'm reliving it like a distant memory of my past. And she spoke to me with her mind. All of this happened in real time. I'm just now reliving it. And it was just like a level of understanding, just standing face to face. We were able to connect just by here. We were able to know the knowledge of the other being. We were able to move, like she touched my hand, like she was looking at me like, you're an interesting creature. Like I'm looking at her, so we're both kind of just like examining and like, well, you touched me, can I touch your skin? You know, well, sure, why not? Like she touched my skin, I don't feel like her. I didn't feel like her, she didn't feel like me. She had these long hair that favored mine, but it was like a different texture. silky almost, but also kinky. It was so interesting. What does this say? Oh, well, yeah, so VF, in our sessions, we'll write viewer feelings. And so the emotions I'm expressing to you, like now, if it comes across, we'll just grab a sheet of paper and just write it down. Our rawest perception. And like I said, we approached each other with curiosity. She was about 5'5". She was definitely, I'm 5'1". I have on heels. I'm the tiniest thing you've ever seen. Tears were falling down my face. This was in real time, like me. Like I started to cry because it was so overwhelming. It made me very emotional. What did I write here? I pray that the human species does not find this place. So I didn't know I was in the past. I'm crying. They are precious beings of this land. This was a very emotional experience, very overwhelming, very underwhelming. I was afraid for this land when I went there. I felt like something bad was going to happen. I felt like if people find this, or if anyone else, not even people, if beings found this place, they would hurt this place. And I didn't want that to happen. I felt almost connected to the land. And it was just such an amazing experience. There was a village, what does it say, with huts, hammocks, trees. Ooh, look, my handwriting's kind of neat here. They lived in the trees, inside caves, which seemed to grow. They burrowed through close to the mountain. It was like villages of the mountains with trees and caves. They moved with the land. It says here that I'm assuming something here shifts occasionally, maybe seasonally. They seem to move, like they would pick up and migrate a lot, like the land, which is what animals do when things change. So they were almost animalistic, but not in the way that we as humans think of animalistic. They were animalistic in the way that they communicated with their environment, which we do that too. A lot of people, you'll hear your grandmother say, "It's going to rain, my elbow hurts." Right? That's her moving with the land. Our bodies talk to us. Oh, I think something's wrong with my granddaughter because my ears are ringing. It's the universe. So we still have the ability to move with our land. We just have to choose to listen to it. But it's so prominent here. They will go to different locations here. The subject that I encountered, look, my spelling is horrible here. That's how you know I was in deep. The subject that I encountered, voluntarily took me to the location. And you see here, I have my viewer thoughts. It says, what does it say? This environment, I can't read my handwriting, is a pleasant memory. Oh, I remember this. This environment was a pleasant memory, and I don't understand why I feel this way. I feel safe here, I feel free, but I don't understand. Like I said, I felt connected, like I'd been there before, or lived the land, or like that being might have been me, or an ancestor, someone close to me, which might explain why the reptilians are afraid of me. Oh no, she's back, right? I come to shake things up. But before I get into my death traps, yes, you guys want to hear about the death traps. About, am I good on time? Yes. Awesome sauce. But this environment, again, you can find the video session, the full video session of this at farsightprime.com. And on farsight.org, which I will post that up there again. You guys can follow, subscribe, and see the full video of me experiencing it in real time. Or after I wrote it down, I went to video, and I talked about it, kind of like I'm talking about it now, but fresher in the moment. And I think I might have cried. Oh, my goodness. And I would love to meet this being again, this alien, this dinosaur human person. It was so beautiful. Anyways, going from this, I encountered death traps. I have a potty mouth. I'm gonna warn you. I just remembered the video I have up there. I was like, oh no, I don't remember saying that. Someone told me I have I speak fluent trucker with a sailor dialect. I'm a cute little Southern belle with a dirty mouth. So please excuse my curse words. There's only like 3 in this video, but I was in the moment. I wasn't really there. I had no control. It doesn't help that I look 15. The bright path seemed like it was a peaceful place, but it led to this electricity event, and it shook him back to being little. Now he no longer remember who he is. It was false imagery, which is probably why that place was so peaceful. So maybe the creators of the dark path were the creators of that entire path, and they knew that he wouldn't go down that dark path, but they knew that he would go down the light path. And they picked apart the things that made him feel good and calm and created this false environment that they knew he'd go towards, and then just darkness. And now he's lost and at war with himself and with his ex-life. With darkness. Like, none of that is fair. That's not fair. Like, can this happen to anybody? I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I don't know about heaven. I don't know about hell. I've been to the war in heaven. I've seen what that looks like. I almost don't know anything anymore. And I don't know who I am right now. Like, whoever this man is, these men are, like, do they even have a choice? Do we even have a choice? Do we even have a choice to go to a good place or a bad place? Like, can someone just drop in and be like, I'm gonna fuck her shit up when she dies? Because she's too powerful? Because this guy was powerful? They created this? I don't even know what this is. They created this to demolish his larger spiritual self because he was powerful? Can this be stopped? Clearly, I'm upset. I almost cried again. So whenever I relive my sessions, when I talk about them, I almost go back to the place. And so, like, I have a tear because this, as you can see, I'm trying not to cry on camera. I'm angry here. I said bad words. But this is the death traps. Don't go into the light. Like, they create a bait. And the light after dark is the bait for these traps. ISBs are attracted to the light. You know how they say, walk into the light. Oh, I saw the light. And no, don't go. Don't walk into the light, Carolyn. Do not do that. Don't go into the light. Like, I don't know. I've met someone who's had a near-death experience. Thank heavens they were here to come back, but even they said that there was something off about the light they saw. Like, that's not a myth. That light is bright. I'm talking about light, I'm staring into it. It's not a myth. It is real, and I saw it myself. Now, I did not have to be near death to see this because I'm a spiritual being and I have the ability to perceive beyond all boundaries, right? And I mastered that, and I found that, and I followed someone who died into this place. I followed someone who was lost. I remember this man, he saw something, what I would call an angel. You know, it was like this beautiful feminine presence that was peace, like a mother, you know. And then there was these walls, or it reminds me like a fun house. And it had like these different doorways, walls. It wasn't mirrors, but it was like entryways that mimic like funhouse mirrors. And he was lost, and he was like, I don't like this path. So he went towards that path that felt like, oh, that's my mommy. That's someone here for me. That's beautiful. That presence. Well, guess what? Sometimes the right thing ain't so beautiful. And that's something we have to learn. That's something we as a people need to learn. We can't always, lightness does not always equate to good, as darkness does not always equate to evil. And that's something I've learned with this. That light, that purity, that thing that I want to go there. That's so peaceful, that's so beautiful. And, oh, take me home, right? No, because now you're cycling and you're trapped and you're stuck. And you have to learn not to do that. He should have went down that crazy, weird path that reminded me of a creepy funhouse that was not so fun. And sometimes the right thing that we have to do isn't pretty. It's not. It's grimy. Think about the lotus flower. It's in darkness. It's in mud. It's underneath cement and dirt and stuff that's supposed to keep it down. And then it blossoms into the most beautiful flower. And it's like, I'm here. And it lives. And now we have things like the 1,000-petaled lotus that exists because of darkness, not because of light. So we have to remember that. I followed another person who died, and they got scooped up by this AI woman. It's my interpretation of it. It was like a vacuum. And she was kind of that pretty light. You know, she was this beautiful creature, and she was walking, and I almost followed. Well, I did follow her too, but not the way they did. I was like, oh, I want to go where she's going, and I'm following, and then I'm realizing these creatures these isbies, these souls are being sucked up like a vacuum, and they're following her, mesmerized, stuck, asleep. And it was the craziest thing, and I realized then that there were pockets where these isbies could be safe, and so some isbies found these little pockets. So imagine a globe, like imagine the world, right? And then there's a barrier around the world. That I've been trying to break that down for a while now. It's probably why they don't like me, because I'm like, let me go a couple 500,000 miles up. Nope, I can't. There's something over there. I can feel it. It's a barrier. It's a wall that's keeping us in, forcing us to look at the light that we don't want to see. Have y'all seen The Truman Show? It's very, very old, and he was like a very old movie, and he was stuck in this dome that he thought was just the city he lived in, and he was a TV show, and people are watching him and making things happen, and that's kind of how it felt here within the death traps. But there are pockets that we can find. So maybe knowing this can help save your soul. There are pockets that we can find that we can slide through. And they're trying to seal those pockets because obviously there are flaws in most things, right? You just got to find them. And don't follow the really pretty woman, okay? Do you guys hear me? Don't go follow the really pretty woman. You're gonna get sucked back into some stuff. No more shenanigans, right? Follow your wife, listen to her. I didn't tell you not to listen to your wife, okay? That's not what I said. Where's Aquaman? He's in here somewhere. It needs to be dismantled. The knowledge of this, remote viewing, and knowing what happens after death will help dismantle it. Because if all of us are no longer following the pretty person and going towards that light of peace, which is something, especially if it's a traumatic death, you want to go towards something peaceful, right? But if we're all keeping ourselves and we're like, wait a minute, Yeme Jeaneé said don't do that. Let me go this way. If we're all going this way, we're going to chip away. We're going to chip away at the things that's keeping us locked on this prison planet. Authoritarian governments use this across the galaxy. It's a whole system. And it's something that needs to be broken. And it can only be broken once you allow yourself to let go and allow yourself to broaden your horizon and allow yourself to perceive beyond all boundaries. All boundaries. That means there's nothing that can keep you down. There is nothing that can stop you from getting the knowledge that you need, that you desire, that you want to save yourself, to save your family, and to save this planet. I'm not going to go into Ra's sun god because I want you guys to go into something with me before I run out of time. There are a lot of AIs out there. There are probably one or two in here. There are definitely ETs in here. I guess they like to see the conference too. And they're the cool guys. And they're like posted up like weird little bodyguards. So if you see me start staring, that's what I'm looking at. But luckily there are people back there. So y'all probably thought I was looking at you guys. And I just told on myself. But the reptilians are being controlled too. So remember, the little dinosaur planet was before it blew up, which is why they're so angry. So a lot of reptilians just have grudges. So not all of them are bad guys. I don't fully understand my connection to it. I had a past, I think I just said this, I can't remember, but I had a past life regression done. One of my followers was like, do you mind? I have a person who does this, and they gave me like 3 different life paths that I had went on, and one of them was like a reptilian princess or priestess or something, which might be why I have that connection to them, because they're the ones that I talk to the most. Good ones, bad ones, ones that are afraid of me, and I'm like, I'm just here, I just have questions, can I talk to you, please? You know, I'm not trying to ruin anything. I guess maybe I am. I'm chipping away at their system, but a lot of them don't want me to see the system. Like I've heard whispers like, "Oh, she's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be so upset if she sees this. Don't let her in." And I'm like, "What you mean, don't let me in? Let me in. I don't play, right?" But someone's controlling them. So I'm trying to find the higher up, like who's really above all this. You guys got to go see this video. I do not have a clip of that because it has not been prepared for me yet, and I am not tech savvy at all. But definitely go check this out on Farsight Prime, because I think this was one of my most intriguing sessions. If I press this clicker, will it show up? Okay. So I'm not sure if this is a slow down. Oh, there it goes. This was taken with our own cameras at Farsight that we got right in Atlanta, Georgia, above our heads. But they moved so fast that they probably came here next, right after that. They're so fast to the point where I don't know if that video is in here or not, because I can't remember. But I saw an airplane, and I was like, that airplane's not moving. It's not real. And then I was like, wait, it is moving because it's moving really slow. Oh, they're moving so fast. I was very upset for a second, but I'm no longer upset. The airplane was moving, but that was way faster. So if we know how fast airplanes go, it's 1 billion times faster. I'm gonna try to see if I can play that again. There it goes. That is our cigar-shaped UFO. I recently did a session on that because I wanted to know what was happening. Whoever is in here who's over this particular little ship, big ship, is dealing with the barrier I was just speaking about. So you guys got to go find that. I think it will air in 2 weeks. So you got to go find it because I'm talking about this particular ship. Here's another sighting. Okay, I'm learning how to use this clicker here. Let's see if we can find where it went because they're so fast. I don't know if this is my slowed down version or not. There it goes. You see it? I'm going to try it again. I wish there was like a play button. You see that? Oh, man, I'm trying it one more time. The people up front can see it. I can barely see it. Where's the clicker? Where's the little circle? It comes right here. So when you're, oh, look, there it goes right there. You see it? Yeah, so it's hard to get the clarity. We have not a presentation, like videos on how you can get your cameras to get this done. So we're using our own cameras because we're like, I didn't want to rely on anybody else's stuff. I wanted to see it for myself. We wanted to see it for ourselves at Farsight. And, sorry. There are a lot of ETs in here. 1 second. The energy will get really thick. See, that means I'm onto something. Making my legs shake. We wanted to use our own cameras, and Dr. Courtney Brown has a documentary of what he does so that you can do it yourself, so that you can get your own footage of the ET ships above you, wherever you are. And I'm pretty sure out here in Ozark is a lot. As soon as I got off the plane, I was hit with a wave of energy, and I was like, I need to sit down for a moment. I will take 3 questions, and then I'm going to have you guys do a little exercise. Could you come up here? I don't know the rules that Mr. Forrest told you guys because I was standing in here, but he told y'all to do something when you have a question.
If you could please line up here in this line.
So I'll take 3, and after your little.
I will hold it.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Stefan. I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Sorry.
I would like to know who's the leading authority in remote viewing?
One more time.
The leading authority in remote viewing.
Who is the leading authority? Mm-hmm. Oh, honey. So there are people, this is a military-based thing that it stemmed from. They eventually, they used it to find like bombs to help stop them before they go off. They use a little bit of a different method than what I teach. I teach a more strategized one, which we had to learn and mix up in the pieces of what was learned in the military. But they finally started to allow civilians to learn how to do it. They used to keep a tight track on it, and they would not let, they would like, what do you call it when they listen in on your phone calls? All of that. They do that. They would do that to Dr. Courtney Brown back in the 90s, and they would tap his phone and stuff like that until they realized he's not here to hurt us. I guess you're free to proceed with this institute or whatnot. But now we at Farsight are one of the top people that put it out there, and I'm the lead instructor of how to do it.
Can I give you this piece of paper?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Yeme, the different styles of or methodologies for remote viewing, like you guys do SRV. So, would you say that like you and Courtney are the leading authorities on that particular
Absolutely.
style, and then maybe like Dick Algar for the Hawaiian style, or what's that one called? I forget.
Dick Algar does CRV, which is controlled remote viewing, which is what stems from the military. And he mixes it with SRV, which is what we call the Farsight method of remote viewing. And so, yes, so we would be the leading authorities for SRV specifically.
Gotcha, thank you.
So is there an overall reptilian agenda? And if so, what is it?
To take over the world! I'm probably being dramatic, but I think I'm extremely, I like your socks, dude. I love those socks. He's got little aliens. But it really is to control, for control. No one likes to release control. And so my theory on their agenda is to keep us here on this planet, control the population, control our knowledge so that we become robots to their cause. She said, I agree.
Thanks. And I'm curious if the community wanted to put together a target and have you folks view it, is there a platform to do that? And if so, I'd love to join with some minds and get a target going that would be specific to our interests.
For me to view?
Yeah, or the Farsight team, or you,
Farsight team.
or how would you recommend doing that if you...
So you cannot send it to me if you want me to view it, because I have to be completely blind to the target. Dr. Brown sometimes will take requests. People will post, hey, can you guys look at da-da-da-da-da? I can never promise that will happen. But what I can do is be an assistant to, if you guys want to put together something, I have to pay my viewers, though. And so we would have to figure that part out because this takes a large portion of our day. It's like an 8-hour day. It takes a lot of energy and time. But with my students, if you guys become my students, when I have group courses, I like to introduce them to my other group classes that I've had. I am figuring out, maybe Adnan can help me with this, I'm figuring out how to make a platform where every time I have a class, whether it's a solo student or a group course, I can put them in this forum, and each class can do that with each other. People do hire me for viewings, and if you need assistance in that, I can help with the targeting and teaching you how to target, and I can get like Intisam, which is she's an amazing viewer. One of my favorite students, and so much so that we brought her into Farsight. She was just amazing off rip, and she was able to be taught by both myself and Aziz Brown. Just super amazing. So I would get someone like her, or I would ask if I could lead the targeting for Farsight, or I would ask her to do it privately. But it is possible. You can email me just to get the ball rolling. Which I'll put my email back up there. Which side is it on? Okay, we're not doing that yet. I'll put my email back up there a little bit later, but absolutely.
I'll go for 4.
Sure, why not?
I know I can count, and I know I'm 4, but
That's totally okay.
is it okay? I prayed for open-mindedness before this started because this is very foreign to me, and I'm like you. I'm Southern Baptist roots.
Right.
And when you said that about the light and not following the light, and I think of all the Bible references of Jesus and the association of Jesus and the light being goodness, I'm having a difficult time processing where to put what you've given me. Be aware of that light. If you could just kind of give me a little more there. I'm not sure how to put this into what my spiritual system already is.
I completely understand.
Okay. I think you do. I think I feel it. So, yeah.
There was a time when I started to question my spirituality. I do follow, because of my knowledge, I can't just stick to one thing. But that's the me thing. I am, everything needs a label nowadays. So I am what someone would call omnistic, which is a person of spiritual belief that understands more than one form of spirituality. So while, yes, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, right? But also, I just saw an alien help dude part the Red Sea. So how do I balance that? And I used to question, I used to ask my mom, like, how do I balance that with my knowledge versus what I've been taught my whole life? And that is just continue to pray, right? And continue to ask for open-mindedness. I'm not saying that all light is bad, but knowing that there are other entities at play here that are not godlike, that are not of Christ, right?
Deception.
Right. Exactly.
Deception, and then I have to get past the filters that are preventing me to be open.
Exactly. And continue to pray for that open-mindedness. When I started getting into Buddhist practice, I was petrified because I was like, well, God told me I can't do that, right? And then I realized God placed these people on earth as teachers and prophets, prophetesses, and all these things, and it may not look differently, and we have to get past the block. Everything that we read is not true, right? And so now we have to have that spirit of discernment. And so you keep that. Because you're here, you're already doing your part. You know, I can only speak for myself. So I'm not telling anybody this is how you follow your spiritual practice. I'm speaking from my personal experience to you, and if anyone else is listening, just continue to be open-minded and know when you see your shadows, is this a shadow of deception? And if so, as my son would say, I rebuke you. My 6-year-old goes, I rebuke you, if he doesn't like something. It's the cutest thing ever. But continue to do that, and continue to watch, continue to learn, and you do your own research. That's why we're teaching you, this is how you can see this yourself. I'm not making this up. I came in 10 years ago because he told me that people were tired of looking at old white people and they needed to see somebody young. This is what my boss said to me. And I was like, okay, sure, you're gonna pay me? I had no idea what I was doing, I just did it. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, this is real. This is happening. I want more. Now I'm addicted. But keep following your own. Like, you're gonna see people, the speakers, ask them questions. Get your own research, get your books, and then go and pray and say, hey, God, lead me the right way. But when you die, don't go into the light. So, in your packets, in your little black or gray bags, I believe I was told on the back there's a few sheets of paper. Is Nancy in here? Because she's the one that told me that. There's like a few extra sheets of paper. Now, if you've seen one of my presentations before, don't you open your mouth, okay? Because I didn't change a few things. But for the people that have not seen my presentation, we're gonna spend 5 minutes doing a meditation really quickly, okay? You guys with me? I'm gonna let you guys get your papers out first. If you have your papers out, shout alien. I need some interaction. There we go. Jeez. I know you guys are probably used to just being in the background. No, we're here together to learn and to do things, really cool things. So, can everybody see me? I'm trying to get somewhere where everyone can really see me. Can everyone take a deep breath for me in? And breathe out through your mouth. Get ready to prepare yourself to be settled. Breathe in again. Hold it. Breathe out through your mouth. And one more time, breathe in. Hold it for 3 seconds. Breathe out. I did that to calm the energy in the room. I am going to show you guys what we call pranayam and asanas. Can everyone say pranayam? Can y'all say it one more time for me? Pranayam is a breathing exercise. Can everyone say asanas? One more time for me? Good job. I love the participation. I grew up in a family full of teachers, so our asanas is to connect with our bodies. Some people, if you meditate or you do your ohms, that is when people, you'll put your hands here and your hands here, connect with your body to heart. So we at Farsight, we use our Farsight meditation, where we will go from our head. So everyone, lightly touch your head. If you don't want to use your hands, you can always use your arm, like your forearm, and then come down to your neck and shoulders, and then. Ladies, use your right hand when you do so, and you go down to your heart. Fellas, use your left hand, and when you do so, go down to your heart, okay? Because our minds, scientifically, we move from different sides of our brains, so that is why there's a difference in our hands. Go down to your heart. Ladies, if you'll follow me, fellas, do the opposite. You take your right hand, ladies, and massage your left. Fellas, go the opposite direction first, and you come up, up, up. We're connecting. When's the last time you touched your arm and your shoulder and then connected it to your heart, right? We're reminding our bodies that we're here, and then you swap sides. So if you were just on your left, go to your right, and vice versa. You go back to your heart. Our heart is our center. Take your, ladies, get to your left foot. Fellas, go to your right foot. And move up, up, up your body, up your torso. So now we're on our backs. And we're back to our heart. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other. Right. Up, up, up our torsos. Back to our heart. Good. How does that feel? You feel connected? Y'all can talk to me. And then we're going to take, ladies, take your left hand, fellas, take your right. We're going to use our thumb and middle finger, right? Put it to your nose. Fast, kind of like a panting dog. Through the nose, you're going to, one nostril, next nostril, and with these two fingers here, right? You're going to, belly breathing, but in a panting style. Every time you close your nostril, you breathe out and in. And now you slow it down. Out in. Out and in. Again. And again. Next one. Slow it down. All right. We'll bring that to a close. Good job. I can see the ones that are doing it. Can everyone say the word shanim? Mana. Shanim. Mana. Let's close our eyes for a moment. If you are participating, keep your eyes closed. You can breathe at your regular pace. Everyone with me, we're going to say out loud the mantra Shani Mana. And we're going to say it like so. Shani Mana. Shani Mana. Shani mana. Shani mana. Now keep this mantra going in your mind. If any random things come up, push it out and go back to that mantra. Continue to say that in your mind for a few minutes. I want you to very slowly open your eyes. Now, this was not a long meditation, but please don't pop your eyes open too quickly because it could result in a headache. Very, very slowly, kind of like you're peeking, open your eyes. Now, imagine doing this for about 45 minutes to an hour, that feeling, and stay in this nice, calm state. Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you. I want you to, if you have pen and paper, I have a target that's going to come up here on the screen soon. Again, if you've been to one of my presentations before, don't you tell your neighbor anything, okay? It's like 5 of you in here. And you are now telepathically connected to me, who is connected to this target that you will see on this board. I want you to write low-level data. You can shout them out, too. It doesn't matter if you guys shout them out. You guys just shout out the first words that come to your mind really quickly. And write them down. Draw a picture if you see anything. Huh?
Is there like a number?
You don't need one right now. Will you guys like one? Will that make you guys feel better? All right, we'll do that. We'll give you a number. Write down 4, 3, 2, 1. And right underneath that, 5170. Draw whatever comes out immediately, and then put your pen to that drawing or dot or line that may have appeared after the number. You know, this exercise is not designed to be a formal remote viewing experience. This is just a nice little example. But talk to me out loud. I want to hear the things you are finding at the moment. Low-level data, that way I can help correct you really quickly. What are you getting? What are you writing down?
I saw a bridge, river, valley, trees, no leaves, 2 trains.
All right. So write down, you sir, write down, you said valleys. Okay, that works. Write down steep peaks. Because if you have a valley,
Yeah, right.
exactly, that's how that transfers. Foliage instead of trees, right? So if you wrote down trees, write the word foliage, right? This the greenery, because it may not be trees, it could be on the land. We don't want to, you know, high-level data versus low-level data. What else did you say, sir?
Bridge.
Bridge, structure. Now draw the shape. Do not assume it's a bridge, remember? Do not have any assumptions. So draw whatever shape you may see. Give me somebody else, anybody else. What are you writing? Growing. Okay. What else? Broadening. touch your page, touch the top of your page with your pen, with the intention of probing towards the target. Keep going. Colors, shapes, sounds, textures. Write those down. Spit them out to me. I want to hear them, guys. Okay, write it down. What did you say over here?
Floating.
One more time? Floating? Like levitation? Okay, keep writing. Think of an environment. Describe the environment of where you are. Not where we are here, but where you are on your paper.
Sandscape.
One more time?
Sandscape.
Okay, we write the words natural land. Put a D dash beside your word sandscape, but you can definitely say sand or sandy. Keep describing that environment. Anybody else? Yes.
Chalkboard, like a school environment.
Like a school environment, so you believe it's urban, indoors like environment?
It's more like an 18th century from.
Write down 18th century. Anybody else?
A church.
Okay, structure. Now, what made you say church?
Just because some of the words were like rejoice, praise the Lord,
Oh.
holy.
Okay. Probe at the top of this right here. Yeah, mm-hmm. And feel for the environment around your structure. Anybody else want to say anything? What?
I saw like terracotta colored, like cone shaped possible structure.
Okay, write that down. What color is it?
Terracotta color is what I wrote.
Right, that's what you wrote? Okay, write that down. And you said cone shaped? So like a triangle?
Rounded cone, yeah, like a cone.
Write that down. Look for the environment around your cone. Feel where your feet are. Sometimes if you want to feel where your feet are, what I like to do in my mind's eye is take my shoes off and walk barefoot. That way I can see what it feels like underneath me. Obviously here it's carpet, but there. You are already there. I'm going to bring it up. This will just give you a little understanding. Remember, if you're using low-level terms, you cannot be wrong. If you're wrong, whose fault is it? Yours. She's taking one of my classes. Yeah, when I'm wrong, it's Courtney's fault. And I just go, he goes, you messed up. I said, no, you messed up. I need you to redo your session. Okay, it's your fault, right? So you mess up, it's my fault. Pressure's off of you. You can close your eyes if you want. Again, use low-level term and remember to keep the terms low and to let go and to allow yourself to move. You ready to see a target? Anybody else want to say something out loud before I do? Sleep? Okay. This is your target. So if you got peaks, your cones, sand, environment, I heard rejoice. This place made him feel happy. Also, somebody said old 18th century. So you felt that there was something aged here in this land. What's up? Oh my God. Oh, look at that. She drew the exact shape of what was going on here. Now, obviously, it wasn't the face, but it's the format. Let's see. No, can you read this for me? Because my glasses are not on my face.
Whirlwind, purple, sandscape, twinkling. I wrote black backdrop, dusty.
Did y'all hear that? Yeah. Whirlwind, purple, sandscape, twinkling.
Aurora, black backdrop, and dusty.
Black backdrop and dusty. Somebody else just said something.
I was curious what her drawing looked like.
Oh, do you mind if I bring your drawing to her? She was curious as to what your drawing looked like.
Bring it up to the camera.
Oh, where's the camera?
Because I was wondering.
Oh, look at that. You guys got the same words but different pictures.
Hers
That's amazing, though. But see, with the class, if you had gotten that, I would be able to go, she's there. She's just interpreting it on her own versus allowing the low-level data to exist. There's a camera. This was a young lady.
That's good. That's good. Back up a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. There you go.
Are you about to cast it?
There it goes, right there.
Awesome sauce. And then I have dark slate, semi-smooth, and someone drew a pyramid. Anybody, whose is this? This is yours. Drew a pyramid. So you guys see, this was obviously without a 3-hour-long meditation and without a formal class. You guys are, I see you got something going on here. Explain this to me. Don't worry about it. Okay. Low-level data.
It's like an old book, like a reference.
You found something referenced in old. Yeah. Okay. So I had someone else. So you guys are picking up that this is something old, that this was something from a long time ago. And I think that you guys did wonderfully. You can, I don't know how to make it. No, we're not going to do another target. What we're going to do is let you guys write down my email address, which is princessviews@gmail.com, and write down farsightprime.com. You can check out a lot of the videos and targets that I showed you guys out there. And you can also go to farsight.org. And thank you guys so much for doing this exercise with me. Thank you guys so much for meditating with me. And thank you guys all for having me. I'm Yeme Jeaneé.